Story time with Mr. Julio. Today, guys. Hey, I pause, yes. It's not Mr. Julio here. As you could see in the short, Mr. Julio today is pretty weird. He's just so quiet. And he told me that he doesn't want to make a story time today, so it's mousy time! Story time with Mr. Mousy!
Hey! Mousy, hey, hello, my friends. How are you? Take it easy, Mousy. I told you a lot of times, lot of times that the story time is with Mr. Julio. And yeah, I was quite quiet because today I'm gonna introduce you this guy. Come on, Mousy. You want story time?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, come on, sit here with me. Yeah, perhaps. Maybe. Here you can be with. Yeah, you see it. Yeah, it's just a mouse in front of us. Okay? Mr. Quiet, like the quiet life. He lived quietly in a small little cottage in the middle of a wood. The problem was that the small little cottage was in the middle of a wood, in the middle of a country called Loud Land. Everything and everybody in Loud Land was noisy. Oh, the noisy. Yeah. Dogs didn't go woof like dogs, you know. Woof. They went, take a deep breath. Woof, woof. People didn't shut their doors like you or I would shut our doors. They slammed them. Bang! People didn't talk to each other. They shoot to each others. Hello! They shouted as they met in the street. Have you heard about something being as quiet as a mouse? Haven't you? Not in Loudland. They had the noisiest mice in the wall. Squeak! Squeak! They wrote at each other's. Mr. Noisy would have liked living in Loudland. He'd have loved it. But Mr. Quiet didn't. Noisy frightened him. So he stayed in his cottage in the middle of his wood as much as he could. Poor Mr. Quiet. But of course, he couldn't stay there all the time. Every week, for instance, he had to go shopping. He used to creep into the grocer's shop. Good morning, beloved grocer. What can I do for you? Please, could I have some cornflakes, please? What? Cornflakes, please, he whispered. Speak up! Mr. Quiet tried his loudest whisper. Cornflakes? Can't hear you! Shouted the grocer. Next, please! And poor Mr. Quiet had to creep away without any cornflakes. It wasn't fair, was it? Poor Mr. Quiet. He crept into the butcher's. Please, I'd like some meat. The butcher didn't even hear him. He was humming to himself loudly and fiercely. Mr. Quiet tried again. Please, I'd like some meat. The butcher started to whistle. It sounded more like a burglar alarm than a whistle. Mr. Quiet fled, empty-handed. It often happened, which probably explains why he was so little. Poor Mr. Quiet. He sat at home that night with a feeling of despair. Whatever I to do, he thought. Whatever I to do, it's no use. I just have to try again. And so, the following day, he went shopping again, but the same thing happened. Look, Mr. Quiet with his socks. Can't hear you. Can't hear you. Can't hear you, said everyone to Mr. Quiet. Poor Mr. Quiet. Oh dear. He went home and went to bed. Hungry. Oh, it's really bad feeling. Go to sleep. Yes, starving. The next morning, he was awakened by a noise which sounded like bombs dropping. It was the long postman knocking at Mr. Quiet's door. Knock, knock, knock! Knock, knock, knock! Mr. Quiet went and opened the door. Morning! Shouted the postman. Letter for you! The postman. In loud line. Mr. Quiet took the letter into his kitchen. He sat down to open it. He worked it until the noise of the postman's footsteps died away. Clump, 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 clump. Mr. Quiet opened the letter in great excitement. He'd never had a letter before. It was from Mr. Happy in Happy Land. An invitation to stay. Mr. Quiet was overjoyed. He rushed upstairs and packed his bag and set off that very morning. Wow, at least one good news. It was late when he arrived on Mr. Happy's doorstep. He knocked on Mr. Happy's door. Tap, 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 tap. Knock, knock, knocking in the Happy's door. Yeah? Yeah. Mr. Happy opened the door. Hello, he smiled. I thought I heard something. You must be Mr. Quiet. Well, don't just stand there. Come in and have some supper. It was the first proper meal Mr. Quiet had for months, and while he was eating it, he told Mr. Happy all about the problems he'd been having in Loudland. Mr. Happy was most sympathetic. Over breakfast the following morning, Mr. Happy told Mr. Quiet that he'd been thinking about his problem. I think, he said, that under the circumstances, you'd be better stay here in Happy Land. Mr. Quiet's face lit up and continued, Mr. Happy. Well, find you a house and a job. Mr. Quiet's face dropped. I'm not very good at jobs, he confessed. Because I'm too quiet. Smile, Mr. Happy. I have the very job for a quiet chap like you. And so the very next day, Mr. Quiet started work. And he loves it. Do you know where he works? Do you know it? Look at Mr. Happy with Mr. Quiet. And guessing. Of course, he's a library man. In the Happy Landing Library, as you know, everybody who goes into a library has to be very quiet. And only was whispering is allowed. What a clever idea of Mr. Happy's, wasn't it? At these days, Mr. Quiet is as happy as can be. Why? Only the other day, do you know what he did on his way home from work? You know it? Yeah, he was so happy and he laughed out loud. Can you imagine? Next, please. Mr. Quiet.
Story time with Mr. Julio.